Haliki liki maka is the Hawaiian way to say Merry Christmas to you. All right, boys. Trading, transformation, going down in Hawaii. All right. So, I don't know why I keep moving this shit. But anyways, today we're going to be going over imbalances and how invalidations of them can either, one, invalidate a trade idea, or two, validate a new trade idea, which is kind of like my take on a inverse fair value gap. I'll probably make that the title of this just for some clickbait ass shit. I don't really believe in inverse fair value gaps, but I whoa. But I do believe in a fair value gap getting invalidated as a confluence. So today's going to be pretty simple. You guys already know about fair value gaps. Today we're going to be talking about invalidation of fair value gaps, how that can invalidate a trade simply by a fair value gap literally just getting invalidated by a closure underneath it or a closure above it. And then we can also talk about how invalidations of fair value gaps can be used to riz up baby Gronk. Okay. I don't know why I'm bugging out this morning. I've literally made like 1,000 TikToks. And it's like 7 a.m. And I'm just like so wired, bro. You know what I really want to do? I would love to meet baby Gronk. He just seems like just such a weird little guy. He's got to be old now. He's like medium Gronk now. He's no longer baby Gronk. Dude, that shit's gonna live with him for the rest of his life. Talk about digital footprint, bro. Imagine being like 22 years old and people are like, bro, you're baby Gronk. Oh, that must suck. Imagine Turkish Quandale Dingle, though. Imagine when he's like 24 and people are like, yo, TikTok Riz Party, is that you? Damn. Anyways, let's start. Sorry. Okay. Also, I'm trading PM session today, so stay tuned if I ever end up taking a trade. Wait, 13. Wait, why is this shit set to 16? On some tweaker shit. I gotta start trading in like an hour because that's when the kill zone starts. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Damn, I actually really wanted to use one of my other trades for this. More trades. Hello. Is your name More Trades? Yeah, it is. I've heard a lot about you. Yeah. You just explain how you break my structure so well. Okay, chill. Let me lock in. Okay, this is a good one. Right here. Okay, right here. So, again, this isn't necessarily our execution time frame, but this is a good example of it. Right here, we get a sweep of liquidity, we get a break of structure. Okay. And then we have a fair value gap right here. Okay, so this can do one of a couple things. We see this break of structure right here, right? And then we see the fair value gap get formed. So imagine we're on like the 15-minute or the 5-minute and we're like, okay, bet, this is where we want to enter. Obviously, if we get a closure above this, okay, maybe there's other confluences, okay, like we have this breaker right here, okay, yes, it gets respected off of this, okay, and yes, we have this order block, and yes, it gets respected off of this as well, but then boom, it gets invalidated afterwards. But we also invalidate this fair value gap, okay? So, I mean, it's literally as simple as like it just closes above it, so that's the first way, right? Just purely invalidation of a fair value gap. Boom. right here. Okay, but let's say, so that's in the downside direction. Now, let's say that our bias was bullish on this. Okay, so boom, there's invalidation one, where it's just like purely the fair value gap gets invalidated, and we're no longer going to take a trade off of it. That's the one use of it, where we literally just get a closure above it, and then it's like, okay, scrap that fair value gap. It's not working for us. Okay, and then the second use is where we can potentially use it for a confluence for entry. Okay, so, and again, I'm not that big of a fan of like inverse fair value gaps where you have to wait for it to come back down in and like get it tapped into. I'm more of a fan of it just like a bearish fair value gap getting invalidated when our bias is bullish and we close above it, invalidating that bearish fair value gap. So let's say that our bias was bullish and we see, fuck it, let's see, like we sweep out these hourly lows, and let's say like we already have a bunch of confluences, we break structure, and there's a bearish fair value gap right here. Imagine we already broke hourly structure within here. Let's say there's like a break of structure right here, okay? And we're looking for confluences. We can use an invalidation of a bearish fair value gap as a bullish confluence, okay? So let's say we already have our break of structure, and then boom, we get a closure above here. That can be a reason for entry. So again, let's say we already have our break of structure. This can be a reason for entry, and we can even put our stops underneath that old bearish fair value gap, because again, it could be used for a inverse fair value gap, even though like, in my eyes, an inverse fair value gap is a pretty made up concept. It's like, bro, like, you can see that this fair value gap gets invalidated, and then what happens? Another fair value gap gets formed. But that's besides the point. We can use this invalidation of the old bearish fair value gap as a confluence to one, either enter, or as just like a confluence for a potential trade setup. So just like how we have regular fair value gaps, just like we have breaker blocks, just like how we have order blocks, just like how we have equilibrium, this is another confluence that we can use to either enter into a trade or to set up a trade. So in this standpoint, let's say that we're actually looking for a trade. We can say that, okay, this is another good example. Okay, look, let's say we were bullish, we see a sweep of this, and then let's say we're like actually looking for a trade setup. Okay, we get a break of hourly structure, and let's say we're just dumbasses and we don't see this regular ass fair value gap, and we're like, oh, we have this bearish fair value gap right here. And let's say we don't see this break of structure, okay? All of this is just hypothetical. And we see a closure above this bearish fair value gap, okay, showing that this bearish fair value gap is now invalidated. That can be a reason to go long on this candle, put your stops underneath the old bearish fair value gap, and then boom, price continues higher. Okay, let's find another example of this. And again, obviously, we need, it can't just be like, oh, bearish fair value gap gets, so like, this is a perfect example of when this shit wouldn't work, because look, okay, we get a break of structure to the downside right here. Damn, shut the fuck up. Can y'all not tell I'm making a fucking YouTube video? Come on, guys. Pipe down. Anyways, but look, like, we can tell that this is an obvious bearish setup, right? We see a sweep of liquidity, we see a break of structure, we see an order block right here, we see a breaker block right here, and we see price push into that order block, push into that breaker block. Just because we invalidate this bearish fair value gap doesn't mean like, holy shit, we're gonna go bullish, right? Because this is an obvious bearish setup. So again, just like all of our other confluences, it's not like, oh, see order block, take trade, or see fair value gap, take trade, right? That's not going to work. We need all of our other confluences to be in line with it, like a sweep of liquidity, a break of structure, all of that, right? So this is an example where that shit wouldn't fly, that shit wouldn't work, because again, we're still in a downtrend, and we pushed into just another one of our confluences. We're still within equilibrium, all of that. Okay, so let's just keep drilling this shit out and show other examples of where this shit would work. Let's get down to business. I need to take a piss so bad. I gotta take a pee-pee. Really not much going on. Let's go over here. I gotta pee so bad, bro. Boys, I literally might pause this video and then go take a piss. Or I might just take you guys with me. Oh. Whew. Okay, so this is an example of where, like, we get kind of 2 in 1. Okay, so we see a sweep of these lows. Okay, and we kind of get 2 confluences in one, like I was saying. We get a sweep of these lows, we get a break of structure to the upside, and in turn, with that break of structure to the upside, we invalidate this bearish fair value gap, and at the same time, we make a bullish fair value gap. Both end up getting filled, so, and this order block ends up getting filled, and then as we can see, boom, price ends up moving higher. Okay. This can be another example here where we get a sweep out of these lows. Okay, we get a break of structure right here, invalidation of this fair value gap, and then we end up taking out these highs right here. Okay, so boom, we get a break of structure to the upside on this candle. You know, maybe you find some bullshit within here, but okay, we invalidate this fair value gap. We end up seeking out this liquidity right here and this liquidity right here. Man, I gotta take this. Boys, I'm literally in a swimsuit. I might as well just go pee right now. I have bubble guts, bro. Be normal. I gotta pee. Damn, whole bunch of Chaba City in this bitch. Here, let me go into like a market open. I wonder if today's market open. I heard that since I'm in Hawaii, fuck, did I remove all the drawings? Damn it. I gotta pee, bro. Here, let's go to ES. I heard that today's market open was pretty shitty because I was watching more trades TikTok. Just kidding. But seriously. Okay. So let's go into the hourly. Okay, there really wasn't fucking shit today, but let's just, okay. Oh, here, look. Okay, so today we sweep out. Again, is this a trade that I would take? Probably not, but whatever. It's a good example. Today, we get a sweep out of these lows, okay, and we have a bearish fair value gap right here. We see price, boom, close above that shit. We can scale down even further. See, we get a closure above, we come back down, retest that inverse fair value gap, but in turn, there's a bunch of other confluences here. Okay, like we just have a regular ass, like smaller bullish fair value gap from this wick to this wick. You could have used equilibrium. I'm pretty sure equilibrium got hit. I'm literally about to pee my pants, boys. Yeah, so boom, we can see that equilibrium got hit, inverse fair value gap got hit. You could probably scale down into the 1 minute. Find a break of structure to the upside, boom, cool, enter right here, take profit, you know, find some sort of confluence over here. Wow, boys, I'm suffering. Find some sort of take profit based off this. I'm gonna find a way to pause this, okay? Wow, I can't even pause it. Holy shit. All right. Okay, well, okay. Here. Okay. 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 Whatever. But anyways, you guys see this. This was a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We get a closure above that. We retest it. And then boom, price moves higher. We take out these highs. Cool, cool, cool. Could have taken like a small little like 1-2 fucking, I don't know. If you enter right here, take profit right here, I don't know. You might have gotten like 1-to-1 risk reward on that if you're entering off the 1 minute time frame. I'm fighting for my life. Okay, fuck it. This is gonna be really weird. I might take you guys with me. I hope no one steals my shit. Okay. Fuck it. Let's go. Go yard backpack with like 150K worth of watches just sitting out in the open. Let's rally. I hope they don't find this sus. I'm just gonna act like I'm on a business meeting with you guys. This is so weird, me walking into the bathroom. But yeah, guys. Print out the balance sheet, Damien. I'm sick and tired of this shit. Damien, you have to print that shit out. And if you don't, you're fired. Sorry, I had to act professional. This is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna kind of hide you guys. Stay calm. Oh, wow. If you're asking if I wash my hands, the answer is no. You know why? Because if you touch your penis when you go pee, like, what? Like, it's a urinal for a reason. Let that bitch spray, you know? Like, I'm literally just ripping my shorts down and just unloading the clip. Wow. All right. That was a risky play, boys. Anyways, go yard bag still here. Locked and loaded. Okay. So, let's lock back in. Anyways. Wow, I feel so much better. I can actually focus. Okay, let's go to NQ. See if we have an example of this. Wow, boys, I can literally, like, breathe again. Okay, we don't have the invalidation until all the way up here. Okay, let's try and find more examples of this. Wow, I feel so much better, guys. Infinitely better off this shit. Let's go to like the 5 minute. Some bullshit like that. Oh, here we go. Okay. Right here. Okay. I mean, just this leg down, I'm assuming that this was like a big ass sweep of liquidity. There we go. Okay, we swept out all these lows. I'm pretty sure this was on like CPI or some high impact news day, if I remember correctly. That was so crazy. I can't believe you guys went pee with me. Anyways, we come downstairs. We sweep this out. Okay, from here. When do we get the invalidation of the fair value gap? Right here. We don't necessarily get a break of structure, but, okay, this can be one of our confluences. Okay, we come back down into this fair value gap again, or into this inverse fair value gap again. What other confluences are we hitting? We're hitting equilibrium off the back end. Boom. Damn, chill. Jamal. Boom. Okay, we hit equilibrium, and then we get a break of structure right here. Bet. Price ends up moving higher. Okay, that's pretty much all that it is. Okay, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of using inverse fair value gaps, like getting tapped back into as like a confluence to take a trade off of, but I am a fan of seeing fair value gaps getting invalidated and taking trades based off of that. Okay, so I'm again, like, yeah, you get better entries by price coming back down and like retracing into it, but we already have so many other confluences where, like, I bet if we go into the 1 minute on that shit, damn, come on, guys. If we go into the 1 minute, I'm sure we can find something, right? Like, boom, huge 1 minute fair value gap within here. Okay, break of structure right here. Bet. Like, long John Silver off of that. You know, take profits, OT dub. Okay. Okay, this is like another example of this. I mean, 1 minute fair value gap. There's a shit ton of like bearish 1 minute fair value gaps within here. Okay, it gets invalidated. We come down. We fill. My guess is we hit equilibrium off the back end on this piece. Boom. We come down, fill equilibrium, bullish reaction up. Okay. It's like they're building the fucking Great Pyramids of Giza out here, like hauling 2-ton fucking rocks in wheelbarrows right next to my shit. Anyways, we invalidate this bearish fair value gap. We get a closure above. Cool. Confluence 1. Confluence 2. We already had a break of structure. Okay. And then, boom, we come down into equilibrium. We get a bullish reaction out of that. Cool. You can long off that. Stops under our invalidation point, which would have been off of equilibrium. Or, fuck it, you can put it underneath this bearish fair value, the last bearish fair value gap that was all the way down here that got invalidated. Whatever you guys want to do, but this is just another confluence that I said I wanted to make a video on because I use it occasionally, kind of as like a supporting confluence and also sometimes occasionally as an entry confluence. So there we go. Not really much else to say on this. We have around 30 minutes until, like 40 minutes until I'm going to be getting ready to trade, but PM session. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Again, this is a good example. Okay, we push up, invalidate this fair value gap. We come back into it, scale into the 5 minutes, see if there's anything juicy within here. Not really. We sweep out these 5 minute lows. We can see if we're getting acky on the 1 minute. But yeah, there's inverse fair value gaps explained / invalidation of fair value gaps explained. For one, we already know, like, if a fair value gap gets invalidated within our trade bias, cool, it just is invalidated. We're no longer using it as a confluence. And if we see a fair value gap in the opposite direction of our bias and it gets invalidated, we can use it as a confluence. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go trade PM session now. Let's lock in. I appreciate you boys. Trading transformation day fucking who knows what. I think 33. That's my guess. Angel number. All right. Bye, boys.